Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be able to look at some scary coincidences caught on camera.
Coming up first is bank robber. This one comes from a news broadcast in Minnesota, USA. One day, a guy was reporting on a bank heist that happened the day before. That is when all of a sudden someone runs out of the bank behind him. The man is a worker in the bank and he points over to something in the distance. The guy actually says to the news broadcaster, "There's the bad guy right there."
24 hours ago, this bank in North... That guy right there. What? Oh, that's the robber. This is live TV, folks. That's the robber. Just went by.
Hello. Turn the camera. Let us see the robber. How's the guy just gonna be like, we've just seen the robber, but we're not gonna show you him? That's such a typical American thing. But that's so scary. Like, why is the robber back at the bank? Is he gonna try and rob the bank again? Maybe he's stalking them. That's kind of freaky.
According to the bank, employee. So, I gotta go here and call 911. I'll talk to you later.
The newscaster is completely stunned and goes, "Oh, there's the robber." That's right, the guy who robbed this bank returned to the scene the next day. And at the very same time, the news was doing a broadcast about it.
That's such a stupid thing to do. Like, if you were a robber, why would you go back to the bank you just robbed? They're obviously gonna recognize you. That's like you punching a kid and then going up to him the next day asking him if he wants to play football. He's gonna be like, you literally just punched me yesterday.
That's already a lot of coincidences right there. The bank teller chases after the guy who hops into a van. But thankfully, because of this, police were able to track this guy down. Police later arrested Ryan Lisco.
Oh my gosh, he is kind of freaky, isn't he? He kind of looks like someone who'd rob a bank. I mean, by the sounds of it, he's a rubbish bank robber. If you're ever gonna rob a bank, don't go back to the crime scene the next day because you're gonna get caught out. I really hope none of you guys would rob a bank. Like, I swear you guys are good. Don't fall into crime because you're gonna get put into jail.
It turned out he'd robbed the same bank 2 days in a row. This is what happens when you play too much GTA.
Wait, so he robbed the bank 2 days in a row? Why does he keep robbing the bank? Go to different banks. I don't even know how you'd rob a bank. Like, I swear he'd just go in with a gun and take all the money. How much money did he take? Why did he go back for a third time? That's so stupid.
It's a crazy array of coincidences that this guy was at the bank at the same time as the news. Robber Ryan thankfully was sentenced to nearly 10 years behind bars for robbing this bank. And the money he got from the previous bank heists was seized and returned to the rightful owners.
Well, how much money did he take? If he only got like £10,000, that's not worth 10 years in jail. Imagine if he gets out and he tries to rob the bank again. I feel like he'd definitely do something like that. He seems like the type of kid to do that. Well, I mean, he's not really a kid considering he's a man and he's a criminal.
Body in the creek. When something big happens in an area, the news will often interview locals close to the event. That's exactly what happened one day in Camptown, Pennsylvania, USA. The body was found inside a creek by the local police.
Wait, so they're gonna interview some of the residents and maybe the person who actually dumped the body there gets interviewed. This has happened a couple of times with murders in the past, especially in the UK. The people who have committed the crime have done an interview and then that's got them caught in the end. I mean, if you're gonna dump a body, don't do any interviews, just leave the country.
As this was happening, some reporters were digging around trying to find out what happened. And that's when one journalist came across a man named Matthew Haverly. He lived right next to the creek where the body was found.
And he is the person who dumped the body. I'm really good at predicting things. Like, I always predict things in videos. The man that we're about to look at is the criminal. He dumped the body.
When the journalist first asks him about the situation, he's very surprised. He also said even though he lives close to the creek, he had no idea what had happened there.
I'm like, what the hell's going on? And now I realize that's what they were actually doing.
He also says it's sad to think that's someone's daughter, mother, or child.
Sad to say that that's someone's either daughter, mother, whatever, both.
But how did he know it was a female? It's because he's the criminal. He's the imposter. Isn't that so scary how he's literally just dumped a body and then done an interview live on television acting like he doesn't know what's happened? This is why you need to keep your mouth shut during situations because you're gonna get caught out.
But remember that quote. That's because hours later, cops realized that the woman in the creek was in fact Matthew's mother. That makes his comment about the body being someone's mother very, very creepy.
Wait, so it was his mother? Oh my gosh, that's weird. Why did he dump his mother's body? Wow, he is one sick psychopath, isn't he? If he never done that interview, he would have never got charged or they would have known it was him. This is why you need to keep your mouth closed and this is why I don't get myself involved in situations. If I'm told something, I zip my mouth because I don't want to get in trouble. But then I'd also not dump a body in a creek.
Matthew said this was a gigantic coincidence. But the police didn't buy it and were very skeptical. Matthew said when he was giving the interview he had no idea it was his mom who was in the creek. In the interview he even said the body was probably dumped there by hitmen.
Like a place where people from the city would want to put a body because most likely they wouldn't be found.
That's just so freaky. Like, why is he thinking about that? If I was getting interviewed, I'd just be like, it's terrible. Like, I want to know what's happened. This is so freaky. Something like this has never happened in this area before. Like, are we okay? Are we in danger? It's genuinely scary that this man could literally dump his mother's body in a creek and then do an interview acting like he doesn't know what happened.
He said that's because it would be unlikely a body would be found there. But clearly it was, and police did not buy his explanation of his interview. In fact, they later arrested him after finding that same blue tarp in his shed. They raided his property and took him to court, and this video was even used as evidence in court. In May of 2019, he was sentenced to 14 years for this. But he still says that he was not behind what happened to his mom in the creek.
Are we gonna find out what happened to her? Like, why was she found there? Did they have an argument? Was there like a problem between them? He's literally just dumped his mum's body in a river and acted like he doesn't know what happened. That is a true psychopath. That's scary.
World War I plate. One of the most defining moments in all of human history was World War I. That's because it led to World War II and then the modern world we have today. But everyone knows that the major event which kicked off World War I was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Was it? I didn't even know that. I'm so bad whenever it comes to history. Like, don't ever ask me history questions because I'll fail. I thought World War I and World War II happened because of Hitler. I think he was World War II. But I guess now we're going to find out why the first one started.
Of course, this took place while he was being driven in a limousine. This was a Graf and Stift limo. But there's a strange coincidence when it comes to this car. That is that it predicted an odd and very eerie message. The number plate of the car is A111118.
I bet you somebody's typed this number plate into Google and it's brought up some creepy cryptic message. I swear if this world ends, I'm not gonna be happy.
And this could easily be read as Armistice, November 11, 1918. Of course, that was the date of the famous agreement that ended the First World War. The car sat for 2 decades inside a museum in Vienna before this was pointed out by a British tourist. This is an incredibly scary coincidence. And some say it's not a coincidence, and this is all part of some kind of giant plan.
That is true. Like, we are, in a way, living in a simulation. While a lot of people seem to claim we are, I don't personally believe we are. I feel like what we're living is just normal life. A lot of people seem to think that everything we're doing is being controlled by, like, a computer. We're not Roblox characters, you guys. We're actual people.
Suspect search. Sometimes cops want to hunt for criminals, but they don't have a photo of them on file. That's why sometimes they'll get a sketch artist to draw the suspect from descriptions. One day, one of these suspects was being reported on the TV program Good Morning America. But towards the end of the show, Robin Roberts noticed something strange. She pointed out that the suspect from a previous story looked a lot like her host, Josh Elliott.
Oh my gosh, that is freaky. They literally look the same. Is he a criminal? Did he literally just commit a crime and then come on live television to, like, talk about the crime? This is like the man doing the interview about his mom. He's guilty.
The similarities are incredibly creepy, and they really do look alike.
Who was there? Somebody that he? Yes, in our last story,
Not a chance.
Some say the reporter who originally reported on this story looks a lot like the suspect too. Look around and there's actually various instances of the news reporters reporting on suspects which look exactly like them.
This is why you don't trust anyone, you guys. Everyone's a criminal. From now on, look at everyone as an evil person. Your friends, your family, your pets, you don't know. Like, you guys could be evil, maybe I could be evil. I guess in a way we're all evil in our own ways.
Admittedly, this is pretty funny, but if you look at it a different way, it's pretty creepy too. I wonder if a news anchor has ever been a real suspect and reported on themselves. The man in this sketch badly injured a woman after a traffic argument.
I mean, you don't know. It's probably gonna happen eventually. There's so many people in this world, so it's definitely gonna happen one day. Mark my words.
Lincoln and JFK. When it comes to presidents being assassinated, the United States does not have a good record. In fact, there have been 6 attempts to assassinate the US president while they were sitting.
It's always Americans, like they're literally all trying to shoot each other. This is why guns need to be banned in that country. Like there's literally a mass shooting every single day. It's like a pick and mix bag. You don't know what state it's going to be in, but it's going to be in one of them.
And 4 of the 6 were successful. But the assassinations of both Lincoln and JFK have some pretty creepy coincidences. Did you know that Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy who told him not to go to the theater? And Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln who told him not to go to Dallas. Lincoln was shot in the Ford Theater, and Kennedy was shot in a Lincoln made by Ford. They were both taken out on a Friday. Lincoln's assassin, John Wilkes, was known by 3 names comprised of 15 letters. And Lee Harvey Oswald was also known by 3 names comprised of 15 letters. John Wilkes shot Lincoln in a theater and fled to a warehouse. Lee Harvey Oswald shot Kennedy from a warehouse and fled to a theater. Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846 and JFK in 1946. Lincoln was elected president in 1860 and JFK 1960.
I need to pause it right there. I don't know what we just listened to. We just got loads of information and I didn't understand any of it. Basically what I got from that 1-minute clip is that if you're a US president, please listen to your secretary. Joe Biden, if your secretary tells you not to go somewhere, don't do it because you're gonna get shot.
And that's not even all of the coincidences about these 2 presidents. Is this simply a coincidence, or has something been set up here?
They've definitely been set up, like the Illuminati have got them. Do you guys actually believe in the Illuminati? Personally, I don't. Like, I feel like there is a higher power, but that's like the government. But I don't think there's an Illuminati. Like, there's always loads of rumors that like celebrities eat babies to like stay young, and it just sounds like a load of rubbish to me.
Robber interview. This one comes from a news report in Gwinnett County, Georgia, USA. A reporter's doing a pretty boring story about traffic in the area. That's when she stops and interviews a random passerby. The man seems totally normal and polite and simply talks about the local traffic and then walks off. But hours later, the news reporter gets a phone call from the police saying they need to talk to her urgently.
I bet you that man's literally just committed a crime and then went on national television. It's like the man with the mom. Why did they keep doing this? If they kept their mouth closed and didn't go towards cameras or anyone, they wouldn't get caught. Why are all of these things happening in America? Like, I swear that country's so scary. I must seem like such an American-hating person on this channel, but I promise I don't hate the country. It's just a bit freaky some of the things happen over there.
That's because minutes before he was interviewed, the man in the footage had robbed a bank. A witness actually say they saw the man rob the bank and then afterwards stopped a news van for an interview.
Wait, so he robbed a bank and then went for an interview on television. Where's all the money? He mustn't have got that much. I'm telling you, he robbed the bank and he probably got about £20 and now he's gonna go down to Burger King to get a burger. It's stupidness, like it's just dumb. He's literally setting himself up to be put... I just heard a really creepy noise. Maybe I'm gonna get assassinated. But like I was saying, he's literally setting himself up to get put into jail.
The police used this interview as well as surveillance footage of the guy's license plate to arrest him. The robber, Eric Rivers, was taken into custody, and he's now in jail facing 2 counts of robbery.
If he never went on the TV interview, he probably would have never been found. Or probably just robbed more banks and eventually got caught. Why are all these people committing crimes? Like, stop doing it.
Hi Dad. This one comes from a YouTuber named Jennifer Moam. Sadly, she lost her dad. But to remember him, she looks up to the sky and says, "Hi Dad." This is a nice way to pay respects, but obviously it's a one-directional way of communicating. It's not like her dad can communicate back to her.
The dad's gonna communicate, isn't he? Something creepy's gonna happen. I wonder what's gonna happen. Like, I've heard about this before, where somebody will die and then you'll see like their face up in the clouds. Guys, if I ever die, look up at the sky, you might see me waving at you.
One day she looked up at the sky and said, "Hi Dad." That's when all of a sudden a glowing orb appears to come down from the sky. Jennifer's channel is mainly about her family, not about paranormal events. But I think this is a really special and heartwarming event if it really is a message from her father.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't believe that. That literally just looks like a lens flare. If you ever get your phone and point it towards the sky, there's gonna be little orbs. It happens all the time whenever you're in a dark room. It could be dust, an orb, or it could actually be him. But I've got a feeling it's just a little glitch. Anyways guys, that is the end of the video. That was some creepy coincidences caught on camera. I'm not gonna lie, some of them really did freak me out. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the subscribe button, and yes, I will see you all in my next video.